Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I decided I'm gonna do something a little bit different. There's not gonna be any gameplay, like at all. But today I wanted to discuss DBD killer concepts for like specifically licensed killer concepts. You know, you always got here with like those concepts like, oh, Freddy, well, not Freddy, fucking Springtrap, Friday the 13th, Slenderman, all that kind of shit. However, the one collab concept that has honestly always been in my top 4 that I think is a very underrated one, and it's not very talked about very much, is DBD collabing with Bendy and the Ink Machine for a Bendy and the Ink Machine chapter. I think that's a very underrated possibility that I don't see a whole lot of people talking about. So I went and came up with my own killer concept for a Bendy chapter. Yeah, I written down in this like notebook that I have. Anyways, sorry about that. I have it written down in this like notebook right here that I have. Alright, let me open this up. Yeah, I written this down like on like Friday or something. So anyways, for my concept, I'm only really going to be discussing the killer. I'm not really going to be discussing perks or survivor, mainly because I have no clue how I would do the perks. But yeah, for my Bendy concept, the killer would be the Ink Demon, specifically the one from Dark Revival, as the one with Dark Revival, I feel like it's much more fleshed out version of the Ink Demon. As admittedly with Bendy and the Ink Machine, the Ink Demon in the first game did not really have a whole lot of character. He was kind of just there. So with this one, I went with the Dark Revival because he has a much more personality and like a much more suitable presence to really create a power off of. So I would say first, before I talk about what I actually came up with him, I feel like it's better to like actually explain like who he is as a character than to that way you actually can understand what what my thought process is with this concept. All right, now let's go and cut to the explanation. All right, so first we explain who the Ink Demon is as a character, at least in Dark Revival, but so that way you actually like better understand what I was going for with this. So anyways, first thing to note with like the Ink Demon is that he's treated as royalty in a sense. He's like treated like he rules over the studio, and that's like a big focus of his character. He rules over the land with an iron fist, and you do not get to do anything unless he allows it. That's like first big aspect. And then the second big aspect is he also typically projects his own insecurities onto other people in order to better manipulate them and get the people to do what he wants. He's like, oh, you're nothing, just like I am. but I can make you strong so long as you do as I say. Like, basically, think of Lotso from Toy Story 3, but like a much darker version of Lotso. And that's pretty much the Ink Demon. Now, let's go into like the actual concept. So the key takeaways is, 1, you should feel like you're everywhere but nowhere at once, as it's commonly seen as stalking his prey. Like, you know he's there, you just don't know exactly where he is. Like, he feels omnipresent in a sense. Like, it feels like he could be felt from anywhere. Like, nowhere is safe. Second of all, it should feel like it should, going back to like the prior point, it should like feel like he's like right behind you at all times, and it should feel overwhelming and oppressive, at least thematically anyway. Obviously probably not in gameplay, but yeah, it should feel oppressive, but like in like a more fun and scary way. So anyways, for this concept, the killer is going to be the Ink Demon, of course, and that's going to be his in-game name. His base stats, he's going to be standard 115 movement speed, or he's just going to be standard movement speed. He's going to have a 40-meter terror radius, like Wesker, and he's going to be tall. His power is going to be called the Dark Puddles. You press the secondary ability button to activate Dark Abyss. While a Dark Abyss is active, survivors within the terror radius will suffer from the Oblivious status effect and will only hear his lullaby, which he will also have. The lullaby is just going to be the heartbeat that you hear in the games. He is also going to, within like his terror radius, he will also have this like filter over the terrain, like he does in the games, or like this inky filter over the terrain, just to like really reinforce the whole he controls everything. While in Dark Abyss, you will have access to 2 abilities. The first ability will be the Inkwell. While in Dark Abyss, you'll channel the power and melt into the floor. You'll gain speed and undetectable. You also not hear the lullaby or see any ink, the ink filter. And then once you come out of it, you'll have like a kind of like a Wraith, where you'll have like a brief moment where you're not able to attack, and it will, yeah. And if you use any of the abilities or do a basic M1, it will end Dark Abyss, and Dark Abyss has a 20-second cooldown. Now, the other ability you can use will be to spawn one of 4 Butcher Gang members to assist you. This is going to be kind of like a mix of Nemesis zombies and Knight's Guards. Knight's Guards in the fact that each of the 4 Butcher Gang members will have a unique ability that will help you apply pressure across the map. And with the zombies, it's more like some of them will wander a bit. Yeah, so anyways, we got the Butcher Gang. You only have 1 at a time, like I said. And you will have 4 first the Piper. Now, the Piper, he'll wander a bit, but once he spots a survivor, he'll immediately run over and leap on top of him like Victor. And then, you gotta shake him. You gotta quickly shake him off, otherwise he could, he'll damage you for 1 health state. He will not down, but if he does grab onto you while you're injured, you will suffer from deep wounds if you fail. Yeah. Second one is the Striker. He's basically like he's gonna function like Knight's Carnifex. You'll break stuff faster, but he won't chase people. He's only meant for breaking shit. Then you have the Fisher. I figure the Fisher, he's gonna be more like the Jailer, but except he's also not going to chase. What he's going to do is he's gonna wander around like normal, but if he spots someone, he's going to scream. He's like, "Hey, he's over there!" and just like give that survivor who gets spotted a killer instinct for like a couple of seconds. He's basically primarily meant for fishing for people and just like rooting them out of hiding. And then finally you have the Slicer. Now the Slicer, it's going to function way differently from any other mechanic, as the Slicer, they will automatically know where all the survivors are. So what they'll do is they'll run to the closest survivor and then jump scare them, causing them to scream and interrupting any action that they were doing. And that's all the Slicer will do. And that is pretty much the power. The idea was for the Butcher Gang, they're not meant for downing people. They're just meant to like act as to like whittle the survivors down and make him harder to avoid. He's like meant to be a split pressure killer that's all about sneaking up on people with the Oblivious, using the Butcher Gang members to whittle down their resources and also gen progress just by a little bit. Just be more of a hindrance to like help build pressure. And then Inkwell for a good traversal tool, since he does teleport, and I was trying to figure out how to incorporate the teleport in a way that's unique to him, and that's what I came up with. And yeah, that's pretty much my concept idea for him. Keep in mind, this was not really made with balance in mind. This was made for fun. I thought this was like a cool idea I could do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone.